Gun laws in the U.S. The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution states, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This amendment has long been interpreted as a guarantee for citizens to maintain their rights to purchase and possess firearms. However, with so much liberty granted to gun owners in America, are we facing an issue of too much liberty? It is time to examine the impact of gun laws in the US on public safety. History of gun laws in the US. The history of gun laws in the US dates back to colonial times, when citizens were required to keep firearms for self-protection. Since then, states have adopted varying approaches to regulating firearms. In 1934, Congress passed the National Firearms Act, NFA, which imposed restrictions on certain firearms and accessories such as machine guns and silencers. This act set a precedent for future regulation of weapons in the US. Overview of current gun laws in the US. American gun laws have been the focus of debate for decades. Despite countless attempts to pass stricter gun regulations, many believe that the current laws are still inadequate and do not sufficiently protect citizens. The existing framework of gun legislation is complex and varies from state to state. At the federal level, individuals are required to be at least 21 years old in order to purchase a handgun from a licensed dealer. Background checks must also be completed prior to purchasing a firearm, as well as if an individual wishes to obtain a concealed carry permit. Additionally, certain types of weapons such as machine guns or explosives are prohibited entirely and require special permits for ownership. Impact on crime rates. However, research suggests that there may be a correlation between increased levels of gun ownership and reduced crime rates. A study from 2018 found that in certain states with less restrictive gun laws, there were significantly lower rates of violent crime than those same states with more stringent legislation. Similarly, areas with high levels of handgun ownership generally experienced lower burglary and robbery rates than places with fewer handguns available. While the connection between the two is still being explored by researchers and experts, it does appear that having access to guns can help deter criminal activity in some cases. Role of Second Amendment. On one hand, some believe that this amendment gives too much liberty to Americans with regards to guns and their use. They argue that there are too many firearms in circulation and easy access to them could lead to an increase in mass shootings or accidental deaths due to misuse or negligence. On the other hand, proponents claim that without these liberties granted by this amendment, citizens wouldn't be able to protect themselves from crime or tyranny from their own government. Economic impact of gun laws in the US. Proponents of tighter gun control argue that it could save lives and money by reducing injuries and deaths caused by guns. According to a report from Everytown for Gun Safety, between 2015 to 2019 there were 12,739 mass shooting incidents in which 138,303 people were shot and 35,979 killed. In addition, proponents argue that tightening up laws surrounding firearms would reduce healthcare costs related to treating gunshot wounds as well as lost wages caused by death or injury due to guns. International comparisons. For instance, when compared to other nations with high rates of gun ownership such as Finland and Switzerland, the United States stands out for having much less regulation on obtaining firearms. In these countries, prospective gun owners must pass stringent background checks and demonstrate a legitimate purpose for owning a firearm. Furthermore, all firearms must be registered with police and they are subject to periodic inspections by authorities. Conclusion. In conclusion, it is clear that American gun laws have had a significant impact on the safety of citizens in the United States. The Second Amendment may guarantee citizens the right to bear arms, but this right should be balanced with reasonable regulations that ensure public safety. As demonstrated by the research presented in this video, there are strong correlations between states with lax gun laws and higher rates of homicide and suicide.